Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the Manham United podcast beats the Manham City podcast, the Manchester United, Manchester City show, where myself and Veta discuss both Manchester clubs. Apologies on the lateness, people. Apologies on the lateness, but we are here in the building. So please make sure you run up the likes, make sure you share this across all the socials, and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. Fulham interested in Scott McTominay. Reports came out technically yesterday now, talking about Fulham looking at a potential move for Scott McTominay as well as Galatasaray. And Veta let me know about this one. Julian Alvarez to leave Manchester City, or potentially could leave Manchester City. I know he was linked with Chelsea like last week. But there may be new reports as well. But like I said, please keep all your comments or your questions, Manchester United or Manchester City related, people. And again, hit the like button on the video. So important you do that, whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back after the live. Make sure you share this across all the socials at That's Me Flawless, at Sarcasm City TV. And just as important, subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. And God, welcome. I always say, man, this is my favorite crossover show to do. You know what I'm saying? My favorite host. And when you look at the, you know what I'm saying, the rest of the co-hosts I have in here, you know what I'm saying, it tells you why. Freaking TJ and Tony, frauds, you know what I'm saying? Jez and Surfer, can't stand him. And Ryan speaks for himself, people, and Stro, them two speak for themselves. So go, welcome, man. Someone very much, I say this all the time, we variants of each other. It's crazy. I just happen to be a Manchester United fan in the UK. He just happens to be a Manchester City fan in Canada. So I got to shout out man like Veta in the cut. Yes, Veta, what are you saying?
Yo, what it do, Flawless? I see the smiles again. Another week later, I see you vibing. I won't get into it just yet, but I want to thank each and every one of you for you know what? Some of the directs. You guys let me know. You appreciate me jumping on this show. You like the vibe, so much appreciated. And I'm gonna do my best to be here on the regular when the season kicks in. Flawless is probably gonna tease it, but there's gonna have to be some crossovers.
Oh yeah. Definitely gonna do some crossover shows.
Yeah, there's gonna be some
100% we are doing some crossover shows. You already know we are definitely.
Flawless, I gotta say this before you flow in.
Go on.
I was listening a couple. This must have been last week when you had a guest appearance with Troops and Amandem. Great show, by the way.
Are you talking about the Yardman show?
Yes, with the Yardman. When that quality show, if any of you missed it, go back and check that out.
Check it out. Yeah.
That show was fire, and I happened to get the notification. Actually, no disrespect, but YouTube. I don't know what YouTube's doing.
Very iffy with their notifications at times.
Mad shady with the notifications because I'm like, listen, I've been commenting, dropping likes. So YouTube, you should know which shows should make sure I should be notified. Even though, I hit the notification on many. But I was like, why didn't I get the alert when you went live on your call-in show? And I just so happened, I was like, oh, I didn't get the alert, but I see it. I just so happened to click on it, and not 10 seconds, Tony is on the show. I'm like, okay.
Shout out Tony, man.
Shout out to Tony. The stars aligned for me to catch him at that moment. So that's gonna be another thing that just signifies the season's here. You know what I mean? Things kind of get derailed with Euros and off-season transfers, anything like that. But when Tony's back, when TJ's back, when we're doing our thing, the season's here. And all of you on Spotify, hey, much appreciated. Listen to the show, of course.
Of course.
There's another dynamic. If you happen to be able to watch, tune into the YouTube, subscribe to this channel. Yeah, man.
Yeah, appreciate it for and speaking of you with their notifications, we go start with we'll start with Manchester United and myself quickly, then we'll go to
we got we got to start with United.
We will, because
the energy's there. Let's go.
The energy's not there. I just look forward to the show. That's why. Let me just clarify that from the jump. You see, the energy I have is nothing to do with Manchester United.
What?
Because as I keep stating, I am not looking forward to this season. And I am one of the few. There's me, there's Nuruddin, Kaneki. They're the only 3 content creators I know, and the only 3 people I know personally who are like very much myself, looking at the season with a side eye. But all this and all this newfound enthusiasm from Manchester United fans is not found its way over here. And shout out to Lex speaking of the Yardman show, because we spoke about that on a Q&A. And it was on the Yardman show, the last one with Troops. It was the last one we did. Shout out to Troops every time, though. And he was saying how where's all this euphoria coming and all this energy coming from and all this. And Vader's smiling because he knows. And then what I then realized when I was on the show and I said it to him, I said, what it is, Lex, this is your first time as a content creator during preseason. This is now my 4th year as a content creator preseason. So I am used to this. I am used to the new car smell. I am used to people getting.
Break it down. What are you used to? Yeah, let me hear this.
I'm used to seeing fans get excited because the team hasn't been in action. It's out of sight, out of mind. So because Manchester United haven't played since May, and we're now entering August, so that's June.
You won a trophy in May, by the way.
We won a trophy. So adding the fact we won a trophy and we've made some good signings as well, and Ineos have come in. So that's June, July, August. So we're saying it'll be 2 months and a half, almost 3 months since Manchester United have played. And what people, because it seems football fans in particular on social media have a very short memory. I forgot how bad Manchester United were, how bad the season was overall, how bad the manager performed, and how bad the players was. And when I was talking to Lex, I realized that, and that's why I said it to him on air. I was like, oh, this is, and he was like, and he said, does this happen every year? And I said, this happens every year. This is literally deja vu from last year.
This ain't right.
It's literally deja vu. And I am literally saying, even though I was more optimistic about the season because of what had happened the first season, I was still talking about the same problems we may have. So last season, because the clip's still out there where I was saying, yes, we had a good season. I thought we would perform better and finish higher up the table. But there's a Man United show where I was saying, where are the goals coming from? And shout out to Angus, because we had the hilarious troll where he said our front 6 was getting 156 GNA. The clip's still out there. Make sure you go check it out, people. Yeah. Shout out to Angus, man.
That's a wild one.
Yeah. Literally before the day before. No, it was the Friday before the Wolves game. So before the opening day. And I was saying on that very show, so this is almost 12 months ago, was saying, where are the goals coming from? And I was being told this player is going to do this and this player is. And then fast forward 12 months, I'm saying the same thing. Where are the goals coming? And bear in mind, we now have more issues this coming season than we did last season. So that's where it stems from, is the whole new car smell. Because people, it's out of sight, out of mind. Because people haven't watched
Spotify listeners.
And you know what's crazy? It happens to a smaller extent at international break as well. Because international break happens when it will happen. So whether it's United, whether it's City, whether it's Chelsea, whether it's Spurs, whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Liverpool, one of those 6 or more, or a mix of those 6 will be performing badly. And then because of the international break, that fan base will forget how badly it is. Kind of happens to Manchester United.
I'm shaking
where
my
people
head on this one.
And I'm like, did we watch the same thing? So that's why I'm not drinking. I'm not a Kool-Aid drinker. Manchester United still have a plethora of issues, even though we've improved. We have so many issues to deal with.
Spotify,
if they don't get a job, we will be in major trouble. But I will be here.
Spotify listeners, you can't see me. I'm shaking my head. Don't listen to what Flawless is saying.
Yeah, don't listen to reason and logic, man. You know
don't listen to this because it's the off season, and the man is saying, "I want." You know what? One of us, our people need to already invent this time machine. This time machine needs to exist ASAP. We need it because I need you, Flawless. I need you to take a second, close your eyes, pause, and just think of the young Flawless, the Flawless before the content creation, the Flawless when the offseason meant a rebirth. The offseason transfer window meant a transformation, a change, where the mistakes of the past, the problems of players maybe not being ready for the bright lights, the stage, or the assignments asked of the manager, that's when it kind of gets all figured out. That's why, again, I think fans, United or other, they should be optimistic during the offseason. They shouldn't be in the offseason pessimistic. They shouldn't already be looking at the glass half empty. I'm hearing a lot of, I already know. You don't know. You don't know what this season's going to be all about.
I don't, but I'm just making an educated guess. I'm looking at it logically, taking my emotion out. I'm taking my love away from the football club and looking at it logically. I'm going, okay, what were Manchester United's issues last season? The manager performed terribly. We defended terribly. The goalkeeper made a whole heap of mistakes. We're a terrible defensive unit. The midfield wasn't cohesive. The midfield didn't create going forward. The forwards didn't create in the forward areas, and we didn't score goals. So who have we added and who have we taken away to address that? So we've added Euro, we've added Xerxes, two positives plus.
Sometimes you don't need to take things away. Sometimes you don't need to get necessarily new people in. Sometimes you need to train them to be better.
Train them to be better.
Yeah, instruct them to be better. Set them up, knowing their deficiencies, knowing their weaknesses, their vulnerabilities, and you try to prevent that as best as possible. That's what's got me. And again, that's why, and it's no argument, I've got the best manager in the world right now.
Facts.
That's one thing that gets overlooked, that gets dismissed really easily. Like those rivals that want to take shots and not want to give Pep the credit that he deserves. And you know what? Funny enough, that's actually something Sir Alex Ferguson didn't get credit enough for.
Yeah, because people rather give you your flowers after you've gone, and in Fergie's sense, after you've retired. And that's the same with Pep.
Fergie got his props, man. Fergie got
eventually.
No, it skyrocketed afterwards, but was he not knighted as a manager?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so he got his props. I mean, again, I'm not over there. I'm not across the pond, but if a man is still in the profession and he's knighted, I think the ratings are there.
Yeah, it's because he did something that had never been done before. That's why. I don't think a treble had been done before by an English side.
Not the real trouble. I mean,
we ain't talking about no Liverpool diet treble. We ain't talking the two domestic cups and the UEFA Cup. For those that don't know,
fraudulent treble.
We're talking, we're not talking the diet treble. We're talking the
grown man treble. The grown man.
The grown man treble. There's levels to trebles, and that's what it is. Even though doing any treble of any sort is impressive, it's like that's what it was because it was so unprecedented at the time. But you mentioned there about training players to be better and putting players in position. But that's the one thing we lack is we don't have a manager to cover up for the deficiencies in the players.
Rudy's on the staff.
All right, cool.
Why you say cool like that?
Cool. All right. Ruud van Nistelrooy's on the staff
and when you talk about someone,
I'm saying
that could
was
be was
Goku not on the sideline every time Krillin got killed? You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about here? Every time Krillin got killed, was Piccolo or Gohan or Goku or one of them man not there.
That's messed up.
Every time Vegeta got smoked, was them man not there on the sideline.
But you can collect the Dragon Balls and bring them back.
Yeah, man. And that's what it is. And to my point that I'm making is we don't have the manager to cover up for the deficiencies and the weaknesses of the players. And then we don't have the players to cover up for the deficiencies and the weakness of the manager. If we just had quality individuals, I'd be much more optimistic. Because I'd be like, you man are going to just ball out and play to a good level regardless. Okay. Same way if we had a manager who could implement a system
that's why I love the show.
These players, I'd say, yeah, cool. But you know what the problem is, Vega? We have neither.
No. This is why I love the show. This is why I love when we're able to link up and have the conversation. And
let's have it.
Last time, you were like, Vader, where are these goals coming from? And I was like, I have to take a step back because I was like, you know what? I hear where you're coming from with the goals, but I also said, listen, maybe it's just smarter play. Maybe it's not surrendering so many goals. Maybe it's not being so vulnerable to the cutback goals that we saw almost on repeat, deja vu, like you were mentioning, for your team, for your club last season. So even maybe reducing that would benefit you guys. But the reason why I'm like, because in all fairness, I'm going to be 100 with everybody in the chat. I'm not up into the rumors like that. I pay attention to my club, but I'm not all up into, oh, what did United just do? I hear who's coming in. I don't really pay attention who's going out. Same thing goes for Spurs, Arsenal. Arsenal are doing big things. Chelsea's always busy. I don't know how they do it, but Chelsea's always busy. And then on the opposite end, I think Liverpool are just going to wait until it's like closing, and then they're going to scramble and get whatever they can get. But when you talk about the positives, or when you talk about I just hit the microphone. When you talk about what you could do next season, isn't it already a plus with what's come into the club?
You mean players?
Yes. I mean,
I said that. I said, yeah. I like Euro and Xerxes. I like two good signings.
Yeah. So
pluses. Yeah.
So by addition, are you not more confident?
No, because we are still so far away. That's the point I'm making.
All right. Hear me out.
Yeah, go on.
Because Flawless, those of you on Spotify, I'm holding my hand up. I'm trying to symbolize the glass half empty. Flawless is looking at the glass half empty. See where my hand is.
There is no glass from.
Okay, there's no glass, Spotify, but
there is no glass. Our glass is smashed.
No. The glass is there. Picture me. Picture it.
Go on.
You got the glass. It's right here. You didn't talk about those two players that came in.
Yeah.
Does that not raise the level now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
so we've raised the level now. There's more that you want in this transfer window.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you were not to have any subtractions of significant players, you're already going into the season like, oh yeah, we're better than last.
Okay. And you know what's better than last? 7th and a +1 goal difference. That's better than last season. That's better than technically by what you're saying there. That is better than last season.
Technically, that is
and
better.
A +1 goal difference is a better performance in the Premier League. Getting out of, because the Europa League's changed, but let's say getting out of the Europa League first phase is a step in the right direction in regards to the two biggest competition we're in.
Right.
Yeah, we won the FA Cup, depending on the draw, Carabao Cup. As long as we don't get, I think it was our heaviest home defeat in the League Cup in modern day, because we got beat at home to Newcastle 16 with no centre backs and like 6 with no fullback. I think no centre backs and like 6 fullbacks in the team, but that's a whole different conversation. The point that I'm making is they were
informed. Newcastle were informed that time.
Newcastle were informed with no centre backs and 6 fullbacks. I'm saying informed, sure. But as I was saying, there's players out there that don't even have their faces on Google, but we moved. But as I was saying anyway, there literally was people. Go Google that. They might have their faces now because they went to OT. But the point that I'm making is, with improvements, yes, Euro is an improvement. Xerxes is an improvement. But we are so far away in all departments. They are only slight improvements. Okay. Even let's say at their best, they're improvements. We need we need more than just them. Even if they turn out to be absolute ballers. Let's say Euro is cold. One of the best centre backs in the league. Let's say Xerxes is cold and turns out to be one of the best attackers in the league. We are still short.
No, you know what?
Chelsea. Chelsea had Palmer, who was arguably the best attacker in the league, and what did that get them?
See, Flawless. You were talking to Lex about you kind of seen this, been there, you've seen it before. You see how the thing. I've seen you dropped it. You dropped your playbook. You dropped your playbook, and I've seen the plays. I see what you're doing here. The whole the whole. Nothing's really showing me that we're gonna be in the mix. Talking as a United fan, nothing's showing me that.
What's the mix? Hold up. We gotta stop there. What mix are we in?
The mix that you're in is fighting for top 4. 100%.
That's what we're at. All right, mix. Okay, so that's the mix. All right. So if we finish top 4, that's successful. Yeah, that's the woo. Let's go.
No, see, now you take it too far. I'm not saying it's a.
I'm asking the question. I'm asking if we really talking about mix. Are we talking about top 4?
Yeah.
Okay,
but this is why it's not just about top 4. Top 4 was like a nasty word. Top 4 was like a 4-letter word. Like everybody was kind of talking about like it was wrong. It was terrible. But top 4, when you really take a step back, there's some hitters in that top 4, right? Obviously, we're gonna talk about City later, but you got City, consistent. Pep does it. You got KDB, refuses to lose. You got Manchester City.
Unless it's a Champions League quarterfinal and he's tired, but we move. Go and carry on.
All right, I'm gonna mark that one.
You just like so. But went off. He was tired, man. I hear it.
He went off. He was tired. He
was
tired.
Yeah.
Let's see what rest does for him this season.
Yeah, man. Hopefully he's well rested and
very well rested. Trust me. I like what I saw in the Euros too.
Yeah, man. Like you ain't got 100 points and just broke our records without him. But we move. Go on, carry on as you were. You know what I'm saying this is great Kool-Aid telling, by the way. You know what I'm saying? This is a great. Great presentation.
I'm here to gather some information. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to kind of understand the landscape, understand where people are setting things up. Because again, I know. Listen, listeners, those of you in the chat, I'm on a little bit of a hiatus right now. I have a show called CIA, Intelligent Agendas. I've done that. I haven't launched it yet. But CIA will be back, and I'm gonna have my city people, my ones that are out there. You know what I was doing the show? I had my city Chelsea rep. I had my city Liverpool rep. We would all gather and have the details and the intelligent, not the lazy, not the sloppy, not the run of the day repeat agendas. No. Took a step back. Like Flawless likes to mention, because he's a sniper himself. On CIA, the agendas were well crafted. The agendas you weren't able to slip out of them. Nah, we pinned them right and perfectly placed. Now, this is what's happened right now. I see Flawless trying to do I'm not expecting much from United. He's doing a lot of, so what does it mean? Top four. Top four is not a lazy word or it's not a bad word when you're building back up, because United finished, it was your worst finish.
Yes.
Prem era. So to go from your worst finish in Prem era, the man that said eras will come to the end, the man you mentioned it a few shows back during the season, the man that's done so many ridiculous records in the negative way, he just had that season. So for him to go from the worst ever to top four is you know what?
It would be an improvement, but we are not one of the 4 best teams in the league.
Ooh.
We are not. You don't think.
But this is what I'm saying. To not be the top best 4 teams in the league, but to be fighting amongst them is significant. So if you go squad for squad and you're like, Ten Hag's got this squad, and Ten Hag is poor as you want to describe him, but he's still fighting to be in the mix with the top 4 that are stronger than him, that's considerable. And that's where I'm coming at.
But that's where the issue lies. We could finish top 4 without this manager. He's the biggest issue. That's the problem. See, Dupe, good to see you in the chat. That in there lies the problem. As bad as we were last season, we finished 8 points off top 4. We lost 17 league games. How was it 14? Let me double check that. Hold on.
So you need.
All
right. So this low expectations with regards to the season is because of Ten Hag.
Mainly because of Ten Hag, yes. 100%. 14. I tell a lie. We lost 14 league games last season.
All right.
So I'm finished 8 points off top. This is why I said about the deficiencies thing. So if you get this manager just better players, could we finish top 4? Would I be more optimistic? Just about the season overall? Yes. If we had a better manager, would I just be more optimistic?
Okay, let me ask you this.
Boom.
We keep the squad. It is what it is.
As it is now.
It is, right now.
Okay.
Just the squad that you have right now. If you had a different manager, you'd be even more optimistic.
Definitely, yeah. A manager that implements a system, absolutely, yeah. Because there's players out there, they're not, even though they're not of the level that I would like, because
I know you're challenging levels. I know, no, you're competing levels.
Is this team good enough to go and compete and finish top 4 and win trophies? Yeah, because they've won trophies, so they've shown that.
Okay.
They've shown that they're capable. That's why they've won 2 and 2. This is why they have a 3rd place finish under their belt. Are they capable of performing better? Absolutely.
Okay, I know you wouldn't be. I know you wouldn't be the flagship guy. I know you're not gonna place your brand as Ten Hag out. Like you let that live where it lives. But that's the biggest difference at United that needs to happen for you to have confidence moving forward. If I'm hearing correctly.
Yeah. I would be much more, if we had a better manager, would I be much more confident? Yeah, because I like everything else that has been happening, even the players we bring in, even the players we've been linked to. It's like, all right, cool. Okay. You don't have to be. Here, the thing is, you don't have to be great to finish top 4. You don't have to be anything special. You don't have to be nothing like, obviously, it varies season to season, but more often than not,
I hear it.
It's rare. It's like it's a top 4, and it's like, wow, we have to get 75 points or 70 points.
You know what? I didn't do the homework to be able to like.
Well, not 70, 75, 80, I
should
say.
But I didn't do the homework to be able to recount the difference season by season. But on average, it's like 7 to maybe 10 points between 8th and 4th.
Yeah.
It's not like the gap's never that crazy, right?
Yeah, the gap there, yeah. The gap isn't huge like that. Yeah.
So I don't want obviously, listen, those of you in the chat, I don't want United to be anywhere near challenging for the league title. But I do think, as I'm starting to plan out the season, I'm trying to really find out where Flawless kind of sits with all of this. And I know the transfer window's not over yet. I know, based off of what we just talked about, players, cool, I like the additions. Manager is still the biggest drawback. Now, is that why, because this manager is still here, you said you still have your doubts about Ineos and what they're doing?
Yeah.
But, all right, Flaw.
Shout out Sunshine. Make sure you subscribe to Sunshine FC. She just put well. So I don't know if that's aimed at you or aimed at me or both.
I don't know,
shout out to Sunshine.
Sunshine's probably going to have the best interaction on her channel because she's doing a Manchester City watch along. So shout out to her. Do your thing. You're going to finally see some good football over there. I'm going to point out that you win the season when the transfer window's out. I'm not going to crash it on you, obviously, because you're like, I don't trust this manager.
Facts.
But I will ask you this.
Of course.
If this manager cooks,
yeah,
I will kind of have to press you a little bit to give him his flowers.
You don't have to press me. I'll give him his flowers. If we ball out, if we ball out.
No, not ball out. Not ball out.
No, ball out and he performs well and we're much better than I expected and we're flying and defensively we're a great unit and the structure's there and offensively we're creating chances and scoring goals and we're winning games and confidence is high and individual players are playing well. I give all the credit in the world to the manager and the players. I want to be proven wrong. Shut me up. Well.
No, but okay, hold on.
I don't want. Here, the thing is, I don't want to be right. I want. You see all this Kool-Aid and all this hype and all this enthusiasm that United fans have. I want them to be right. I want us to be a completely
you're only not hype because it's Ten Hag
team.
I get it.
Also, I don't trust these players by themselves because people keep talking about the players. And do we have some quality players and talented players? Yes. Do I trust Ten Hag to put these players out there? No. Like people keep talking, like we've mentioned it when we spoke about Sancho. To me, Sancho don't get game time. People have mentioned Diallo, who I rate highly. I think Diallo's quality. Is he going to get game time though?
Well,
Sancho, I think he's talented. I don't think he gets game time.
Flawless. This is it. I'm ready for our future shows because you know what we're going to do?
Go on.
Transfer windows closed. I'm going to do the same exercise as I ask you. Transfer windows closed. I'm going to be like, yo, Flawless.
We gonna talk, we gonna make our predictions.
What's that best 11 you got, my man? What's that best 11?
I'm gonna talk about it.
Okay.
And I will give you my best 11 at that point, and then say where I think that we end up. Because obviously signings can change, incomings and outgoings to the squad can change that. But currently, as constructed right now, we are miles off it.
Okay.
Because even to let me get to it now. To big up to everyone in the chat. Large group, all of you lot. Make sure you subscribe to Veta's channel as well, Veta Games TV. Because Blitz says I disagree with that's just being skeptical. Our base level can still win games with a bozo manager with the FA Cup. With better players and coaches, we get top 4. Liverpool dusted, Chelsea, bozo, Spurs, I don't know, Villa. No. The thing is with that, I don't know if you're talking to you or me. Yeah, in regards to it's not me being skeptical. I'm just basing it off of what happened last season and how we are this season. There's been no significant improvement to the squad. We lost Varane, who was our best defender. So we're weaker defensively. Offensively, Xerxes, even though I think he's a plus, I don't think he's going to come in and transform the attack because our attack sucks. Like I've been saying over and over again. And I'll say again, who is creating for us? Who is scoring our goals? Because, Friday the 16th of August, when we play Fulham, we are going to line up with Bruno in the 10, Rashford on one wing, and Garnacho on the other. That is a recipe for fucking disaster.
See,
Diallo gonna be on the bench.
see,
Sancho
Blitz is
gonna be
right.
on the
Blitz
bench.
was directing that at you. That's towards you.
Yeah,
He's
right,
like,
that's fair. But
you're
yeah,
too
can we
skeptical.
well, he says can we still win games with a Bills and manager? So at FA Cup with better players and coach. Again, with better players, and I disagree with the coaches thing. I mean, people give way too much credit to coaches. So how come we've looked horrible in preseason then according to most? I've not heard anyone say everyone who I've spoken to and everyone who's been in comment sections has said our preseason looks the exact same as last season. We play well for 15, 20 minutes and then we're awful after that. So why is that the case if Rude and all these coaches have this much impact? How come it looks the same?
You didn't like the preseason game versus Arsenal.
I didn't watch it.
Fair.
Yeah, I got that. Hey, I don't even want to watch this in the Premier League. Why am I going to watch preseason? I am just here so I don't get fined. I'm here so when me and you do these shows, I can actually talk about Manchester United in the Premier League and Europa League. I've already said this. If it wasn't a part of my job, if this wasn't work, I would have stopped watching Manchester United.
Oh, that's wild.
I have to watch.
That's wild.
How's it wild? We woeful. I keep asking the same things over and over. Defensively, we're also
you can't be fair weather though. You can't be fair weather.
In what sense would you mean?
You gotta be there during the poor. Sorry for the description. You gotta be there for rainfall, for the leaks, for the flooding. You gotta be there for when it's rough and bad, even for when it's now bright sunshines and rainbows. You gotta be there during the tough times. That's what I'm kind of pointing out. So
I've been here. I was here.
Yeah,
was I not here the entire part of last season when we had our worst ever Premier League campaign?
Worst ever, and you gotta continue on. You gotta be there for the sunshines. You gotta be there for the sunshines that don't know as much and gotta kind of figure it out along the way.
Here for them. I'm fully here for them. That's why I've not missed a show.
Fair.
I'm here.
Fair.
And against that, like I don't want to be. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather talk about other stuff, but I'm here. I want to be wrong.
Do you want? I mean, are you gonna do rival watch-alongs as well?
Yeah. I'm doing rival watch-alongs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing.
So you get a chance to see some good football as well. Some United.
Those that don't know, I'm watching United. I'll be watching City. I'll be watching Chelsea. I'll be watching Arsenal. I'm watching Spurs. For those that have been here longer, well, during last season, no, I did.
No Villa.
Yeah, Villa will be in the mix. Okay. Newcastle will be in the mix. That's what I was just about to say. I'm going to be doing more watch-alongs in the season overall, people. So more 12:30. Well, I didn't do any. So more 12:30 kickoffs, more 3 p.m. kickoffs inside for you lot. So
how you gonna manage the 12:30s? What's going on?
Hey man, you gotta get to work, man. I got up the work rate. That's what it is. I got up the work. The only 12:30s I did was when it was a big game. That was it. But now I'm gonna do more 12:30s, more 3 p.m.s, 5:30s. I do more. Same on the Sundays as well. More 2 p.m.s, more 4:30s. People. So they'll be live. The United ones will be live here on the YouTube and the playback. All the other ones are on the playback, people. Okay. I'll also be doing La Liga as well. I'll be doing Barcelona and Real Madrid watch-alongs as well. When I can.
That's really all you need to worry about over at La Liga.
Yeah. That's all I'm watching. I'm just done that. So yes, you will get more. So I will be watching rivals, just so even when I talk to you and others, I can ask more questions and I have more insight. But yes, on Manchester United, people think I don't know what it is. If people hear me be critical and think I want to be right as a Manchester United fan, I want to be wrong. I hope Manchester United are as good as everybody thinks they are going to be. Because I've heard other rivals say Manchester United can finish top 2. Top 3. Top 4,
whoa. No.
Not you. No, you didn't say that, but I'm saying I've heard this. Like fan calling shows, people in the chat. Where do you think United can finish? Top 2. Yes.
No,
that's too much Kool-Aid. See, this is what happens. This is what happens. See, don't do that.
Right there.
Hey, you don't do that. You see, when crack dealers be selling crack and then realize the neighborhood's gone to shit, don't do that. You're part of the problem. You should be selling this shit to United fans.
Nah, I'm selling the mild stuff though. I'm selling the mild. The mild.
You don't do mild, fam. You don't mild. You don't do mild. You know what I'm saying?
Yours is extra. I ain't selling the Kool-Aid that'll lead them to believe top 2. I'm not selling that.
People have said legit top 2, top 3. I've seen top 2. I've seen top 3. Yikes. I've seen top 4 as well. And I'm like, who are we better than? We're not better than anybody who finished in the top 4 last season. Yeah. Even without Klopp, we're not better than Liverpool. We're not better than Villa. We're not better than Arsenal. We're not better than Manchester City. So
Paul,
someone
explain to me
that group.
Yeah, don't put me in that group.
I'm
a responsible dealer, though. I'm a responsible dealer. If I see that someone's strung out,
you're a Kool-Aid dealer with a conscience. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't want to lose customers.
Yeah, Franklin. But yeah, as it was. So again, even top 5, like what we're then hoping on, so to the last comment, is the rival teams to not be as good. which could happen. Maybe Spurs are not at it. Maybe Chelsea are not at it.
So
Maybe
let me ask you
Newcastle
this,
are not at it.
though. Let me ask you this.
Go on.
What about the level of experience improvement? Like when you look at the squad and you're like, you got a year older Manu now.
Yeah.
Right? You got a year older in terms of experience with a Garnacho as well. Like I think the first time he was introduced, I mean, listen, he's got his limitations or whatever, but I think the first time he was introduced, he was just like a speed demon. Come on, and he was just trying to bust everybody with speed. Now,
Daryl, you know me. We've spoken more enough that we on the same wavelength. We've only spoken a couple of times, but we on the same wavelength, Daryl. You know I don't fall for the okie doke, man. I'm too smart for this. I'm too old. I'm what did Denzel Washington say? I'm from around the way. I've been here before, people.
Daryl,
like I've been here. I've been here. I've been watching football since like 95, 96. I've been here, people.
Daryl, what are you doing? Daryl, what are you doing? We're peoples, man.
I've been here, like that's what it is. So like when people, and I've been content creating now for long enough where I've seen this euphoria happen during pre-seasons and people get gassed. And I'm seeing it in the chat. And what's crazy is as Manchester United draw and lose games and the performances will dwindle, then people will disappear. Like last season. That's what happened. And then when we won the FA Cup, they came back and then started talking and all these type of stuff. Like that's how it goes in this space. Like I'm fully aware of the issue.
Daryl, I'm not doing the okie doke. Daryl, I'm not doing the okie doke. I'm just asking some questions to kind of get a level set, to get an understanding.
Yeah, but don't think I'm trying to set the bar low. So if Manchester United then go low, it's not. No, it still sucks. That
it's still poor. I'm just trying to understand all of the reasons to how you get to where you set the level. So that's why I'm asking the introduction of new players. Now that's why I was posing the question. Now with experience though, when you look at a Manu, when you look at a Garnacho, a year older with the league, right? When you look at Ivan Højlund, and hopefully is I don't know what the injury status with him and Euro was, but
I'm not sure what it is either with those two. I'm not sure.
But you look at a year older for Ivan Højlund. And again, there was a portion where I was being objective. I'm watching and I'm like, okay, he's raw. But at the same time, the service wasn't that great. Like they weren't looking for him. They weren't trying to get him.
Someone made the point, and I can't remember who it was. Someone made the point. You've played football, Vader.
Yeah.
I've played football. We've all played football at some form of level, Saturday League, Sunday League. And we've all played on teams where we don't pass a certain player the ball. Why is that?
There's a lot of reasons on why a player wouldn't be passed the ball. And it depends. Sometimes it's depending on the minutes within the game.
Or maybe you just don't rate him.
Yeah, but at the same time, but see, listen, I'm an older brother, right? So my siblings, I've always had to kind of nurture. I've always had to kind of like, even though they aren't quite ready, I had to show them an opportunity to try and prove that they were ready. Sometimes you also recognize, you know what? I can't throw it overhand just yet. I gotta throw it underhand.
Yeah.
So even with the player now, when we look at Højlund, maybe there's certain things he doesn't excel at. So you don't necessarily serve him that way. You serve him in a different way, what he's actually strong at.
Cool.
Because there was a few games, Højlund and Haaland, in terms of why are they not releasing that pass for him to run onto? Like, that's what he wants most. And I think the reason why I'm saying, and I'm not doing the okie doke, Daryl, relax, chill. I'm just trying to say, I'm just trying to say, a year later there might be a better.
Yeah, maybe he starts making runs. Because that's the problem. I went to the game against Arsenal. I was there for those that don't know when Arsenal beat us 1-0 at O2.
Yeah. Oh, but see, this is where you're being unfair. No, this is where you're being unfair. You are, because you're going to hold them to Arsenal, arguably the best two center backs.
It's not a gate, but it's not that they got the better of him. That I have no issue with, because Arsenal are arguably the best defensive team in the league. I have no issue with you not being able to get past the Saliba or Gabriel. You know what my problem is? You didn't try. Lose the fight. You know what I'm saying? If you fighting Floyd Mayweather, hey, or Terence Crawford, we'll use Terence Crawford because I think he's the best fighter currently out right now. Lose to Terence Crawford. That can happen because he's a pound for pound great, top quality fighter.
Yeah.
But my problem is attempt to knock him out. Against Arsenal,
we might see that. You might see that this season.
He did nothing. He didn't drop short. He didn't spin him behind. He didn't try and rough them up. He didn't try running behind Gabriel. He didn't try running behind Saliba. He didn't try running behind either fullback. You did nothing. I watched you actively. Like you mentioned there about Haaland and like him making a run and not getting the ball.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem with Højlund that I've said this is, even though I think he's limited with the physical attributes he has, if he just applied himself and just ran around, he just law of averages, he would have some form of success just from volume. I'd rather you be offside 25 times in a game than not be offside.
Shout out to Darwin Núñez.
Yeah. Shout out to Darwizzy is the prime example of that. Not a very good striker. Limited striker. But you know what Darwin Núñez has? Absolutely supreme confidence in his ability. And he will continue. He has, you know how I know he has supreme quality in his ability? Because he don't stop. He carries on consistently making.
I think he's just not that bright. Runs. I think he's just told what he's told, do this, and I think he just does it on repeat. I don't even really think he thinks.
I don't think he does it. But the point that I'm making is that people will criticize him for missing 30 big chances. Yeah. And that is fair to criticize him for that. But if Højlund was in that same team, he doesn't get 30 big chances. And he has all of the physical attributes that Núñez has. You know why? Because Núñez will make the run every time. I think he was the most. I think he was the striker who was most offside in the season. You know what that tells me consistently?
I think him and Richarlison.
Richarlison's another one. Limited, but applies himself. He will make the run. I'll forgive. I say it all the time. I've said it on this channel many a time, and I continue to say I'll forgive lack of skill. I won't forgive lack of will. What I won't forgive is lack of application. That's unfair. And I watched you do that. One thing about Garnacho, even though I don't rate him highly, tireless. Consistently makes the run. That's how we got the goal. That's how he made the mistake for the goal that we scored against you lot in the FA Cup final. Because someone played the ball for him and he made the
and he ran on it. Yeah.
And he will make that run consistently now. More often than not, he might not get the ball.
Højlund might pick that up. That might be something of a byproduct, training with the guys, seeing Garnacho's tirelessness and effort.
Maybe tireless. Be a nuisance. Eddie says it all the time. Try hard. If you are limited in technical ability and you are limited in just your ability and skill, your skill set is not very good. You can be a try-hard. This is why I don't mind. People have mentioned like Amrabat I have no issue with Amrabat when I see him in central midfield. That's spoken about.
Wait.
I have no issue.
Was he alone? Was he on loan?
Loan, yeah, he's loan. He's gone back.
Okay.
He's gone back. Right. But the point I'm making is, am I sat here saying, go and get Amrabat? We need him. He transforms.
No, but you want that profile back. You'd like.
But the point that I'm making is, if we sign him at the right price, I have no issue. We go away to the Etihad and he plays. I have no issue. If we're away at Anfield or we're away at the Emirates and I see Amrabat in midfield, because I know what he's gonna give me. There's no doubt. Højlund, I know you gonna give me nothing. One thing Amrabat gonna do is run around and be a nuisance.
All right,
and we've seen that FA Cup final. We've seen it away at Anfield, which is one of arguably our toughest game.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's agree. Everybody in the chat, those of you listening on Spotify, let's agree today. We're gonna treat the first day of the season like the first day of school. You know how school breaks out, whether it's high school, university, or whatever. We break out. Everyone does their own thing. You don't see people for a while. Things are different now, social media and all that kind of stuff. But before, you'd be gone. You wouldn't see people. Certain person comes back 2 inches taller. Certain gal kind of comes like all things. We don't know. We haven't seen each other, but it's the start of the season, and let's have a clean slate. Let's not hold Højlund to what you saw last season. Let's not hold, because again, I have to do the same thing over at Manchester City. I've got to give a Calvin Phillips, who might still be on this squad going into the season, a clean slate. Of course, I remember what he's done the last 2 years. I remember him being sent on loan and having a stinker at West Ham. I've seen him not do what he needs to do at my club. But players like him, there's some rumors, I don't know where he's going to end up, but even like a Cancelo, if certain players remain at the club, I have to give them a blank slate, and I have to see, okay, I'm a grade you from now.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, I am cool with that. I'm giving everybody a clean slate, but I still have my expectations because you were shit in school all last year. So why am I expecting you on the first day of school this year to come back and get A's when you was giving me E's and F's, and we got an A+ a couple times? and managed to win, you know what I'm saying, an FA Cup, which is the equivalent.
Because of summer school.
A couple of the summer, what summer, but again, we giving way too much credit.
Because some training.
Like to my man who said it in the comment section, I forgot his name. My bad. My apologies to you. It was like the coaches. So if the coaches are back to it, and I don't think he's responded.
Yeah,
if he has, I missed it.
I think it was Blitz.
It was Blitz. Shout out to Blitz. My apologies, Blitz. You know, no disrespect. He said the coaches are gonna. So why have we not seen that in preseason? Then we played 2 preseason games and we've looked no different. So we wait. So what's magically going to happen is we're going to be this bad all during preseason. We're going to get to Friday, the 16th of August against Fulham, opening day, and magically transform and start playing beautiful. Come on, man. Come on, man.
All right.
Yo, if it walks like a duck, looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, is it a duck? You know what I'm saying in that? If it rattles like a snake, looks like a snake, slivers like a snake, do you have to get bit before you figure it's a snake, or is it a snake?
I hear it.
Sorry, man, that I just look at this from a realistic and like hear the reaches that people are going to.
How many more preseason games you got?
Chat with
How many
these,
more
before we go, I think 2 or 3.
2,
Even
okay.
what Blitz has said is a prime example of what I'm talking about, and just the whole, what's the word I'm looking for? Just this whole misguided enthusiasm. He said with even though we have a bozo manager, with the players and the new coaches, we can do something.
But Flawless, you got so many real men.
Before we go, so how come with these coaches there, we've looked the exact same in 2 preseason games? So magically we're gonna transform once we hit Fulham and just play completely different. Or is Ten Hag still in charge and these coaches really don't have the impact we think? Because everybody has said, I've not heard anyone say, hey, we look great in preseason. I've heard we look the same. Good for 15, 20 minutes, and then it goes to shit after that. But magically, Friday the 16th of August is gonna hit, and it's gonna be a magic. That's what it is, man. We're gonna get Harry Potter's 1, and it's gonna go over Old Trafford, and all of a sudden these players are gonna perform at such a high level.
I mean,
all right, bet sure.
Okay. I get your point. Fulham's gonna be a tough game. But I think
sure. Yeah,
I'm gonna say we have to wait and see. But I just think that even though you're seeing what you're seeing in preseason, I think the experience kicks in with regards to your manager there for a 3rd year. These players all leveling up in terms of a year longer under this manager. And like you said, is the rest of the league have they leveled up? Are they going to be
they're able to experience everybody else's as well? So technically, yeah, they've also leveled up.
Okay.
Everyone's a year more. Andrew's in his 2nd season. So off that logic, Andrew will be better. Spurs
should be better. Yeah.
Andrew so we're already not there. City, Arsenal, Liverpool could fall off, but are still better than us. Then you have Villa, have Spurs in their 2nd season. Chelsea have a new manager. They also have just much more talent and goals than us, just in general. Especially in the forward.
You worried about Newcastle?
Newcastle are still a problem because they score goals for fun. If they happen to sort it out slightly defensively, they'll finish above us as well. Who else we got? Yeah,
you worried about West Ham?
Lopetegui, they got a good. They're good going forward with Bowen. They don't know what's going on with. I'm forgetting someone with Kudus, with Bowen. They have threats in the final third.
Yeah,
all these teams I can look at and go, yeah, they have goal threat. The teams around us, apart from really. Actually, Spurs even do. With Madders and Son, they have 2 players. I'm going, yeah, they're going to deliver some form of quality. We don't have 2 players I can say that. You mentioned West. I trust Kudus and Bowen to affect games going forward.
Fair.
City goes without saying. The top 4 goes without saying.
It's going to be an exciting
Arsenal,
league.
Liverpool. For you, it's great. We're on 5 feet.
No. For the league overall, like the fight, the battles, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh my
fantastic.
God. No.
Fantastic. Yeah, great. I'd love it. If my team was favorite for a 5P, I'd be itching to get to the season 2.
You know what? Speaking of this 5P,
go on.
I don't like the energy that's going towards this. Like, there's too much of it's happening. If I were to take a step back let me try and be objective here. Those of you in the chat, I'm doing my best. But I heard all 2 seasons ago that Arsenal would have won the league if Saliba didn't get hurt. I heard that.
That's a lazy excuse.
Fair. It's a lazy excuse
It's
because
it's extremely lazy.
Yeah, because
I've killed this dead already. Every single since Fergie, from the first time Fergie won a league title in '92, every single time we was close, we finished second and was close to the top of the table. Somebody got, actually I can't even say the whole time. So from '92 literally to I'd say probably 2000 and before Arsenal won the Invincible. So like 92 to 2001, 2003 for 10 years. Yeah. Every time we didn't win the league, somebody got injured. Somebody was missing for us. Like key player was missing. That ain't no excuse.
Yeah.
Like when Blackburn won it, Cantona was banned. Okay. Another time, Steve Bruce Roy Keane was injured for one of the time when we didn't win a season. I think it might have been the 98 season with Arsenal. So every single time in the 90s and just over it is. But carry on as you were. Go on, sir.
They were just, and again, Saliba out. That's why they fell short, didn't win the league. Now, last season, they weren't able to win the league despite spending and bringing in record signing in terms of Declan Rice. But they only fell short by 2 points. Now, they're making mad moves. I'm excited to listen to your show tomorrow and hear what TJ and Tony have to say with the signings, because Calafiori is official. It's done, right? It's signed, sealed, and delivered. So when they talk about the deficiencies, because every one of them, every Arsenal fan, almost like by a script, like they were sent the lines to speak on. So when I'm on Twitter X, when I'm listening to some of these YouTubes, everybody seems to be having the same line and saying, our Zinchenko. And stop this with Zinchenko, because y'all were happy when you had Zinchenko and Jesus, and now Zinchenko's been the problem. But they said Zinchenko and left back's been the issue. So they just shored that up with Calafiori. They're saying how, and I think it's a mistake. I think it's a mistake
really?
to get a striker. No, the signing's great. I think the signing Calafiori's great.
Yeah,
but for them not to be thinking we need a killer up front, we need someone that can kind of change the game when other clubs decide to defend them the way they did, because not defending was not their problem. Scoring actually wasn't their problem, but it was, listen, what are you wasting?
Crazy. Hey, big up, little bro. I don't know why you awake, but big up anyway. He's my little brother. I don't know why.
Oh, for real?
Here we are. Yeah.
It's mad late over there.
I don't know why, but big up, little bro.
But Arsenal, they needed to shore things up with regards to, you don't have a killer up front. You've been noticing Arteta is supposed to be mini Pep. If he's going to be doing anything in terms of copying the Sensei went out and got Holland. The Sensei went out and said, you know what? Yeah, I may do without Aguero, but I don't want to keep doing this. And I think that's where Arsenal need to go out. And I'm hearing rumors right now about Osimhen possibly going to Chelsea.
Yeah. They're saying Osimhen to Chelsea. Yeah.
Arsenal, you can't let that happen. If that's happening and you don't get an Ivan Toney or you don't get someone up front, that is a huge miss. Long term. But I keep hearing it was Saliba that kept him 2 seasons ago. It was defensively at left back why they suffered these goals and why they didn't get the results. They've dealt with that. They kept Saliba healthy. Now they got Calafiori to seal up the left back. I was lucky to win the league last season. I was lucky to win it by 2 points. I was lucky to win it by 2 points based off of how Arsenal fans wanted to talk.
Again, you said it, you cleared it up there. Based off of how Arsenal fans wanted to talk.
Rivals. Let me also throw out. There was mad rivals out there.
Because people were tired of you lot winning, which I hear, but I can take my emotions out of it and take my dislike and distaste for Manchester City away and go, you are still the best team with the best manager. Therefore,
no. Listen, this game isn't played on paper. This game isn't played with robots. This game is played with human beings, men with emotions, men with men with thoughts of themselves. So
Sure.
I heard it from some of the rivals. You know what? I'm gonna point it out. I don't think you don't do content with them anymore. But one in particular was Don Hussam, Liverpool fan, quick to say
Again,
last season.
You know what's great about that is that me
Yeah,
and Hassam did during these periods. So when you and Arsenal was tussling for the title, and his dislike for you lot got in the way of his common sense.
You think his dislike of City blinded his
Because I said
objectivity,
it to him.
his
Yes,
football brain and mind to actually
yes,
see football the right way?
absolutely. Because Hassam is supremely intelligent when it comes to just the game of football and just talking
But his
about it.
emotions,
Very,
his
very.
emotions
But when
clouded
it comes to and what's crazy is he can take his emotions out of it when it comes to Liverpool and call it straight facts. Like he'll call it straight as like more often than not when he's talking about Liverpool, I agree with him. But when it came to the whole City Arsenal thing, both seasons, because one of the seasons we was on Battle of the North, and then the last season just gone, we was on Back Again. Shout out to Matisse, shout out to Troops every single time.
large up.
And he was saying, I said, City are gonna win the league. And he was like, nah, I'm still gonna do it, and all this. All right, but Arsenal are just, again, there's exceptions to all rules, but more often than not, when there's one team is just clearly better than the other, they're gonna win the league.
And you know what? That's why I rate. That's why I rate, and that's why we have the show, because in terms of you being objective, you looking at football, you doing the plus and minuses, but also, and again, this is where I have a little bit of a dislike for those that want to hide around predictions. I don't want you giving me your emotional predictions. I don't want you giving me the I hope predictions. I want you to take a second, look at the information that you got, based off of squad, based off of manager, based off of instructions, and give me your prediction based off of facts. But like you just pointed out, sometimes those that are out here in this space, they're going to talk with emotion, and they're going to kind of give you.
You can say both though. What I ask for people when I ask questions, I'll say, all right, give me your what you want to happen and what you think will happen. I'll ask both.
Yeah, but now what happens is if you ask both and you get the same answer for both.
Yeah, you know they're lying. Oh, actually, no, that actually could be. You know what I'm saying?
They could honestly believe what they say, but they're just inaccurate.
It's like when I said years ago to Hassam and others when we was this is about 3 years ago, something like that. And I said Liverpool won't win another major trophy on the club. Now, did I want that to happen? Yes. Did I also believe that would happen? Yes. And I was told I was hating. And I'm just mad because Manchester United are bad and And did Klopp win another major trophy after I said that? Absolutely fucking not.
Ooh, you said that during their quad run. If it's 3 years,
did I say it was in the quad run? It might have been a quad run. It was around that time. Yeah, see how mad that looks. A Manchester United fan, while Liverpool are on for a quad, to turn around and say this team that is fully on for a genuine quad. Now they won't win another major honor under this manager.
Yo, not to large you up too much, but and it wasn't even a villain arc. It wasn't you going out of your way. It was you just. That was some of the best. That's actually when the light bulb went off, and I was like, "Yo, this man's dangerous," because you held a few things. Where you're like, "Okay, I'll let you run. I'll let you talk crazy," and during that quad run, you let those snipers go. Now,
and it's the same with the season, 2 seasons prior.
No, true.
Very good team. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Is Arteta much better than I expected him to be? Yes. If someone would have said Arteta will play this way, solidify Arsenal as a top 4 side, solidify Arsenal as one of the best sides in the Premier League, and been able to compete and challenge for a league title, I would have said no. That he has proven me wrong on. What he hasn't proven me wrong on, though, is I don't believe he is the guy to get you over the line. I mean, I don't believe, and I believe he's Arsenal's biggest hindrance as to why. Is there other reasons? Yes. Is there other reasons? Yes. But is he that big hindrance? Of course.
Listen, this is a manager. This is a manager that they've labeled generational. No. Yeah. I'm not doing a here we go. This is ain't no Fabrizio. Here we go. Let me say, they've labeled him generational, and I think he would be worthy of that title if it weren't for the baddest man on the planet. Listen, Johan Blake was a bad man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Justin Gatlin, he was dangerous. The grass, nasty. But when they're running against Usain Bolt, when Arteta is doing his thing, and I'm giving you an Olympic reference because we're in Olympic season. When you got Arteta now battling it out with the Pep, Arteta's still nice. Arteta can potentially be generational. It's just not on display just yet because of Pep. And just take a second, step back. The reason why maybe Adon Hussam and others were so confident with Arsenal winning last season is because we can't dismiss
because
that.
they dislike Manchester City and they're tired of Pep winning. Everything was in City's favor. On paper, everything is in
What?
City's favor.
No, we're not doing this, Wallace.
Okay. So what's not in your favor? What do they have that's better than you?
They had a better
You hear the non-answers, people.
At the time. No, they defensively.
Apart from the only thing I give to them now, I would say, and that is even close, because let me actually check the numbers. I think defensively they were a better unit than you lot.
They were, yes, they were last season for sure.
Defensively, they are a better unit than you lot. That's the only thing last season and going into this season, I say. Everything else is
last season. We can't forget the flawless. The reason why last season I was moving mad humble and being respectful is because I also had a huge portion of it, and maybe this is probably a reason why some rivals were saying I see Arsenal doing it is because KDB was out for a substantial amount of time. Holland was out for a substantial amount of time. Pep was trying to figure out what he was going to do out at wing play, and also there was the mixing and changes defensively in a little bit, but. The reason why I was saying earlier, these are players, these aren't robots, is because some of the things, and I get, if you keep saying City are going to lose, eventually you'll be right. So those that said City were going to lose the league.
Yeah, but there has to be lose to someone I've got, like, again, outside of defense, because defensively, I think Arsenal are better than Manchester City. You're better in all other areas. Your midfield is better, your attack is better, and just even more important, you have a manager that is levels above another. That's the biggest gap between the two sides. Actually, is it the attack?
But
you could be argued for the managers.
Yeah, but if we go back, right? Last season, many were saying it was Arsenal's season to win. The season before that, many were saying it was Arsenal's season to win. The season before that one, it was for City, but that was the quad chase by Liverpool. So it was kind of like Liverpool were to win it that year, and then, or am I mixing up my years? But then there's also, with the exception of one, I would say everybody was like, "This is City's to win," right? There's always been that challenge, whether it's Liverpool, whether it's now been Arsenal, and I think those that have been saying City are going to win, City are going to lose, City are going to lose, eventually, yes, they are going to be right, and I think this season. When you have the fatigue, when you have the potential of just being a little too comfortable, winning a 4-peat psychologically, mentally,
how do you? I heard all this about the treble. And what happened the season after?
You didn't hear this about after winning the treble.
Not from you. You know who said this about the treble? We were just talking about. Hassam said all this about the treble. He said the exact same thing about the treble. It's hard to go again. Are they going to be motivated to 4-peat? This, and that. And like I said to him, I say this to you now. And this is how you know this is just on repeat. Let's say City do have that trouble. Let's say mentally you are fatigued and mentally you're not at it. Who's better than you lot? Arsenal haven't improved in the areas they need to improve on. What?
Yeah, improved it. Calafiori, their left back, again, which was a huge concern.
No. Improved in areas they need to improve on in regards to overall. Defensively, yeah, you could say, all right, let's say first team, he's there, he's playing cool. Everyone knows they need a midfielder. Everyone knows they need a striker. Spines. I've spoken on this in depth and I'll speak on this again. Every single team since the Premier League inception, so from the beginning of the Premier League, people, from 1992, every single team that has been Premier League champions has had at least one central midfielder who we class as absolute world class. He is absolute top quality. The only exception to the rule is when Blackburn won it and Tim Sherwood, and I can't remember who the other midfielder was. Every single team, and I said this all last season, a midfield of Declan Rice, Jorginho, Odegaard is not good enough to win the Premier League. Look at any single Premier League winning side. So whether it's Manchester City, whether it's Manchester United, whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Liverpool, whether it's Leicester City, whether it's Chelsea, has there been any other winners of the Premier League? I think that's it. They're the teams that have all with it. What have they all had in common? An absolute certified central midfielder we all remember. So whether it's Liverpool with Fabinho, whether it's you lot with Rodri, Fernandinho, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Manchester United, the list goes on. Chelsea, even Leicester. No, Leicester had Kante. Important area. Is Declan Rice good? Yes. Is Declan Rice, Odegaard, and a bad boy central midfielder good enough to win?
105 good?
No, he's not 105 good, as we've seen in the Euros. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As we've seen towards the back end of the last, as we've seen against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. He's still looking for Goretzka now while we move.
You know what's wild? And I said this before Euros, and Arsenal fans thought I was hating, but I was like, thank goodness we didn't sign him. I think it's like one of those where in the moment you're like, see what he does. I was thinking coverage for Rodri. I was like, hell no. As like, again, City fans, you guys hear what I'm coming at. Rivals, you're not gonna like this, but I was looking at Rice coming to Manchester City to compete for Rodri's position. Never happening. But that got me to thinking, where it was Pep thinking of making Declan Rice just a soul six, a destroyer, and inviting Rodri to possibly do the Gundogan role, possibly have Rodri be the more advanced one. And I was like, ooh, that would have been sick. But again, now we kind of understand why Declan Rice, in terms of, hey, how do you see yourself using me at your club, Pep? And when Pep were to break that down, I can see why Declan Rice was like, nah, I'm not with that. But I'm thankful for it, because they would have had to play in tandem, not for Rice to actually be a backup and we interchange Rodri and Rice. That would have never worked, because his limitations were on full display in these Euros. So athleticism, check, he's got that. You want him to go box for box in terms of being in the mix with the play, but if you're looking for anything creative, anything sexy with regards to a pass, he's not that guy. So all the best with what he tries to do over at Arsenal, but I think he's going to regret that decision when it comes down to trophies. If we are trying to talk about going into the season confidently, we're trying to.
So are you 5P in Vale?
Flawless. Did you hear? And actually, you must have, because you did hear, because we talked about this.
Yeah, are you? Do you?
I might be losing Alvarez.
Are you currently? We'll get onto the Alvarez. Currently constructed right now. Are you do you believe you are winning the league 2024-25?
Currently constructed, and
currently constructed. So you as you are right now, and everybody else is as you are right now. Do City win the league?
Well, let me refresh, because I'm trying to see my.
Yeah, I know you're trying to watch the game. That being said, everybody, make sure you run up the likes. Over 40 people in there. Girls up to 50 likes, people. Like, check 1212. Subscribe to Vata's channel. Links in the title.
Yo, bless.
Vata Games TV. Vata Games TV. Click the link and it opens up a new tab. Go subscribe. There's links underneath in the description. Not just on this live stream. Every live stream on the channel. And everyone else's channels are underneath in the description as well. Also on the featured channel page. But yes, Vata, are you winning the league this season? Are you the favorites? Let me scratch that. Are you currently the favorites for the league right now? And if you're not, who is?
Currently constructed, I don't have any exits.
No.
So
currently constructed, you're the best team in the league currently.
Currently constructed, I was better than everyone last season. I was
Absolutely.
2 points better than Arsenal, funny enough.
2 points, Arsenal. 1 point, 102 points. You was the best team in the league. So are you currently the best team?
Arsenal clowning Liverpool for losing by 1 point for several seasons, losing by 2. I'm only 2 points better than them going into next season. Mm-hmm. I've added Savio. Woo! Quality signing.
So you're better on paper.
I'm better. Right? I'm better than I was last season.
Who?
Arsenal are better than they were last season.
So Arsenal have improved and you've improved.
And I've improved on paper.
Yes.
I've got, which is the crazy part, which sometimes gets dismissed, but I'm always present with it. I still got 115 looming over my head.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to all of that.
If we're gonna ignore all of the psychological, the mental things with regards to the game,
yeah. So taxing, man.
Look at
When did the 15 charges come out? When was it initially a thing? Chat, let me know.
When did it come out?
When was it?
2
Yeah, when was
seasons
it?
ago.
Oh, so
2 seasons
wait,
ago.
so 2022.
Yeah.
Is that what it dropped?
It didn't drop last season. It dropped the season before.
So in the meantime of
treble
season. So you've won a treble, you've won 2 Premier Leagues, the Champions League, and the FA Cup. So you've won 5 trophies in the past 2 seasons.
Well, if we're gonna ignore like the Super Cup and
we can add Super Cups and stuff like
that.
But
yeah. You're right.
So we'll see out there. Super taxing, man. I don't know how they cope, to be honest. Clearly, it's affecting their performances. Damn.
It's affected things in the sense of you got to power through it. Because there's part of it that's like, do I celebrate fully? Do I go all out? Do I buy not just my family? We're a family of 4, but I got my brothers, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law. Do I go and get them Manchester City jerseys? Do I go crazy with it?
Yeah, you go crazy with it. Yeah.
There's been a little bit of trust me, I got the jerseys because of the 3-peat treble. I got to get the jerseys because of the 4-peat. And now,
and you'll get jerseys because of the 5-peat.
Now the 5-peat is a huge possibility. Huge.
Yep. Yeah. I think I would say odds-on favorites. Would you disagree?
We're odds-on favorites.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We're odds-on.
I would
favorites.
say so.
But
I'm saying slight. Only 2 points though. Only 2 points favorites.
Only 2 points better than Arsenal last season.
Only 2 points better. That's key. Only 2, and you have to use 115 charges.
I had those over my head.
Which could be mentally taxing, like it's Mario Kart. You have the cloud
taxing.
when you get bumped and your car gets bumped, and you have the cloud over you like it's Mario Kart. I'm saying somehow you managed to weather that storm and win a treble and 3-peat and 4-peat and win a FA Cup and a treble and a double all in that time. But I hear you, man.
Flaws, maybe this is it. No, but at the same time,
maybe this is it.
Let's not.
Maybe Savio doesn't settle into the Premier League, man. Maybe he struggles.
First year at City. First year at City is always difficult. But I got 2 years with Doku though. I got Doku 2 years.
Maybe Doku balls out. Maybe we see a better Doku and a good Savio. Maybe.
But we can't. Plus, we can't ignore the psychological portion of the game. We can't just dismiss that.
I'm here, man. Psychologically, Arsenal run your coattails. They've improved as well.
You can relate to this, Wallace. You can relate to this because when your greatest ever manager, when you in your heyday was just collecting trophies for fun, like you're probably kicking and walking past them and using them to collect. You're using all those cups you had for water. You weren't even just drinking nice champagne out of them. You just had so many, you just wasted them around. When that was happening for you, at the same time, you had the biggest target on your chest or on your back. Absolutely. You got the best effort from everybody.
Absolutely.
Now, imagine that almost times 2.
Facts, man, have you got the big target on your back?
So again, when they want to
say got big bad Arsenal with Super Duper Mick chasing you down, man. Gunners.
They're gonna be dangerous.
Just super. No, not dangerous. No, not what does Lee gonna say? Not dangerous. Scary. You know what I'm saying? And that's the word we're looking for. They're gonna be
terrifying.
Scary.
They're gonna be terrifying.
Scary and there's another one I forgot, but it's scary and something else, but scary.
But
Super Duper Mick.
But the reason why the mental part can't be ignored is because they have to win it this year. Arsenal have to win it this year.
It's not like Arsenal have failed before. It's not like they're the Luigi before Liverpool were the Luigi.
I see what you're doing.
You see what I'm doing? What? It's not like they haven't been here before. It's not like they haven't finished runners up before. They were the original Luigi. They were Luigi. Like you have Batman and Robin, and like before it becomes like Batman, like 4K. And it's like old school Batman. They're like the old school Batman, like was on TV. You know what I'm saying? And that, like and then you got the new age Batman as Liverpool. Arsenal, the old age Batman. That's what it is. I hear you, man.
I don't know what to expect with this Arsenal. Like they've gotten stronger. I can't ignore that.
That is facts. They have gotten stronger. The Calafiori is a good defensive reinforcement. I agree with that.
If I happen to be favorites, I don't think it's by much.
Okay, and you're slight favorites.
Yeah, I think I'm still going to be slight favorites. I think there's going to be that aspect of it's a lot more difficult to retain the title, be the champion, remain champion than it is to pursue.
Oh yeah, of course. But it's easier to be the hunter than the hunted, and that's caused major issues for man. And City are looking to do what? What would this be in a row for you lot? Well, if you retained it this season coming?
For those of you on Spotify, it would be the.
Well, it'd be the 5p, but it's extremely difficult to maintain
never
and
seen before.
retain, and it's been never seen before. You know what I'm saying? Doubles are hard enough to do.
I don't like the voice.
There was
those of you in the chat. I don't like Flawless's voice right now.
There was only 2 teams before Manchester City that did doubles. Bear in mind, there was only 1 team that had done doubles multiple times, which was Manchester United. And City came and did a double. You know what I'm saying? Then they 3-peated, which had only been done by 1 team before twice. But it is mentally taxing and it is very exhausting being 100. I hear that, especially when it's super duper Mick. You know what I'm saying? And the Gunners. I get that, man. And how their fans talk and their defensive structure. And they only conceded what last season? They were 2 points behind you. Yeah. And they only conceded 29 goals in 38 games. And they've improved on their defense.
Yep.
So they could concede less than 25. Maybe they're going for Chelsea's goal record of conceding less than 15. Maybe that's the aim.
Ooh,
that's the aim. That's what it seems. That's what you're trying to do, man. Defense is the best form of attack.
Don't talk about that record, though.
That's what it is now. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to ask, you know what I'm saying, TJ and Tony about it and other Arsenal fans. See if that's the aim. I don't know why you're laughing. This is serious. But like you said, it can be very tough to repeat, man. As it's shown for City, 4-peating ain't easy. 5-peating ain't easy.
But you're very talking like it's easy. I don't like that. You're
talking like it. I just legit said it's not easy. As we've seen these past seasons. It's not like City were the favorites going into the season or anything. You know? Oh, yeah, they did a domestic treble as well. Thank you for reminding me, Andrew. But it's very tough. And one of them was one of the retentions as well. It's tough, man.
It's
extremely tough, man. I hear you, man.
It's gonna be an interesting.
It's gonna be a slugfest. You're gonna be a rough, tough contender in the ring.
It's
gonna be tough to get out.
Because you're using, and those of you in the chat, I know you can hear it in Flawless's voice, so I'm not gonna fall for it.
What the scorecards is gonna be like 114, 113, 115, 112 to bring it back to boxing reference.
It's gonna be that tight because
it's gonna be close.
Arsenal, when we talk about experience, and you wanted to, I mean, not to say you dismissed it, but when I was relating it to United. Arsenal,
we just have quality. That's why we don't have Arsenal's quality. That's the difference.
But Arsenal, they've come out of the blocks again. Olympic season. Arsenal came out of the blocks flying 2 seasons ago, right? They kind of learned from that whether it was a mistake or how to best manage it. The next season, you heard many of them talking about, they're pacing things through. They're able to make sure that they have what it takes to close out the season
to get over the. Oh, because the people say when they was top of the league for like 94% of the time, they didn't pace themselves and they gassed at the end.
Yeah.
But then the second season it was closer and they still lost. They figured out how to do it. Not come out of the blocks too quick, but a little bit quicker to create a little bit of a gap, but have a little bit more in the tank going forward.
To be able to manage whether they're running away with it based off
performance. And you got the silky German up top now with a year more experience of being at Arsenal and Arteta system. So maybe that helps. Maybe Martinelli gets it together again.
Martinelli had a really poor season. Martinelli.
Yeah, he's poor. He was poor.
You think he's poor?
No, he was poor. I think he's a decent player. I think he's good overall.
I think he'll bounce back.
Yeah.
When you ask me about this 5-peat, am I confident in my team? Confident in the club? Confident that players like a KDB is going to be like, I need to win this on my watch before I maybe say farewell. The hunger of a Haaland, 100%. But I'm hesitant as well, not because I don't lack confidence in the club. I'm hesitant when I think about players that are almost literally completing football. Julian Alvarez right now is with Argentina at the Olympics.
Yep.
This player happens to win gold for Argentina. He's won every trophy in football.
That's crazy.
So, and he's doing that at age 25, something stupid. So a player like that, which every player has a bucket list. So those that are successful, you set goals. I'm sure for him, there's things on that list he didn't expect to do at 25. There's also probably some things where he's like, you know what? I'm quote unquote second to Haaland. I don't know when Haaland's leaving. How many more seasons do I have? Or when can I really get this payout? When am I going to be the hottest? When do I maximize? When do I capitalize on this? He's a player right now that's rumored, and I get the game. So that's why I'm not reactionary with how I tweet or Twitter X or how I happen to be on YouTube. But Alvarez was important to us in terms of a 3-peat and 4-peat. Alvarez,
he played his role
hugely. And again, some would argue like, oh, he didn't look good. He's not that guy, whatever. Again, when he's at striker, looks mad comfortable. You can see that he can do his thing.
And Darryl don't do that. He says how many players, sorry to cut you off, became better with super duper Mick. I feel like players either stay the same or regress. Yo, Declan Rice, man. Declan blood clot Rice and peas. Kai Havertz, just to name two. Well, we move. Go on, carry on as you were there. Word to my guy Troops, man. I love being able to coin Troops' phrase. Is that what he said, man? Declan blood clot Rice and peas? That's what he said, man.
Declan did
Kai blood clot Havertz. You know
wow.
He said you don't add the blood clot, you ain't saying it right. They're two players to say the least. I'm not lying. You lot watch back again. Facts.
Raised Kai Havertz's level.
No, he said who's improved. He said who became. I believe the players stay the same or regress. I think Havertz has been better at Arsenal. I think Rice has been better at Arsenal.
Rice, I don't think so. I didn't see enough last season of Rice to be like.
Nah, he's better than he was at West Ham.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely.
I find it hard to judge because he was surrounded by better. So I found it hard to
much better though.
Saying. Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, Paddy, that's what he said, man. Clive blood clot Havertz. That's what I'm not lying, people.
That's crazy.
You lot can ask him. He said that. I said, you sure you want to say that? He said it. He added the gun fingers and everything.
That's a nasty clip. That is a nasty clip.
That's what he said, man. He said they're doing bits this season. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah. I got some material to collect. I think.
But Alvarez, do you think he's leaving?
I don't think he's leaving. Okay. But what I don't like is when a lot of that stuff is being talked about and discussed throughout a season. Right? Okay. When the agents are a little too chatty, because I see how that irks my manager. I see how that gets Pep with his like backup, and he's got to deal with certain questions he doesn't want to have to deal with in press conferences. Also, whenever there's been that agent talk, because I saw it with Bernardo Silva, the fan base don't react well to it. The fan base start getting impatient with the player and maybe an error that they make on the pitch, or they misperceive effort or action. I don't like that, so I would hope some of that gets squashed. Pep said all the right things. Pep said his agent and Alvarez, his agent and Alvarez are looking at what the future may be. When that is determined, the agent will then talk to us. Okay. So it's not like, hey, he's put in anything formal, but nothing's changed currently at the club with regards to Julian Alvarez and his future. But Pep's saying if something does change, his agent will inform us and we'll make moves from there. I hope this is all just, I hope it's just politicking. I hope it's all just maneuvering, posturing. I hope it's just in an effort to maybe get a little more, maybe extended contract, maybe a release clause, maybe, and I don't even know the details of what Alvarez is right now, but I think it has something to do with the agent just trying to get a little more out of Manchester City. I now, again, the agent, speaking of Alvarez, I now have a player that has done everything asked of him. He's helped you win a treble. He's helped you win a 4-peat. He might be coming back from the Olympics having won every possible trophy in football. I think that might be where the agent's coming from. But if he happens to go flawless, and you're asking me the same question about, hey, are you confident with the 5-peat? I'm going to be honest with you. No.
Be honest?
I'm going to be honest.
It hinges on Alvarez. If you lose him, like, you're not going to go and try and replace him.
Again, until he's replaced, I'm not confident.
Okay. So you replace him with Eze?
Eze at a backup. I don't have a backup striker as great as Eze is.
Striker?
See, don't do that. No, yes, I have one without a striker.
Okay, then. So I don't want to. You have a system that works. Some people would say you play better without a 9. That's been a conversation, correct?
It's a terrible conversation. Those that have been.
You disagree with that? You think you play better with a 9? Okay.
What? 100%. 100. Listen, and I say we, Manchester City, we are most dangerous with a striker.
Okay.
All of you can remember. And you know what, Flawless? Sorry, apologies to this because
it's cool.
Maybe now isn't the time, and I'm gonna reuse this bar anyways as I refine it.
fine.
You know how your book of lines, your book of rhymes, you sometimes throw it out in a freestyle, and you're like, nah, I gotta clean that up a little bit. So
Facts.
what I love, and I'm talking to all of you hating rivals, all of you that say little old city, I'm talking to you right now. You know what I love?
Talk about it.
The fact that we were able to win our first Prem against Manchester United was epic for us. Huge. It happened with what a lot of people want to kind of talk about. Oh, you won the Prem before without a striker, but it happened with Aguero, who is one of the most lethal, dangerous strikers that have been in this league. Like, don't disrespect Aguero. He's nice like that. I'm not gonna go stat wise. I can do that, but I'm not gonna do stat wise. You know how dangerous Aguero is. But we were able to win a league title with no point difference, goal difference against United. You know what we then went on to do against these love to chat, love to talk, all big and bad, never won a Prem before, but they were quick to want to talk. Liverpool, you know what? Twice won by 1 point. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, there's no red cartel. Trust me, there's a red cartel. Next up, those that keep want to talk about history, keep want to talk about relevant clubs, keep want to talk about this league was built on who? Well, you know what? This league built different. This league's built with additional clubs now. This league's not only just built with the United, Liverpool, and Arsenal, which many of you wanted to talk about, but you got Chelsea in the mix. You got Manchester City holding that flagship. Go and see what this U.S. tour has been doing. And I'm going to hold on these stats because I'm going to bring them out during the season. You look at what's happening, the momentum, the business. There's mad rumors right now, Flawless. Liverpool owners are talking about the league playing a league game, the Prem, having a league game over.
Yeah, I've heard about this before. This has been, you know what? That's been a rumor for years.
Yeah, it's been
mentioned for years
and been dismissed like, oh, this ain't that.
Yeah, NFL. I'm not trying to see that. I'm not.
But you know what? Don't underestimate.
Oh yeah, of course. We know these men that it's all about the bread. Like we know it is all about. We know it's all about the money.
About
you lot. That's why I don't think you lot will get anything. These 115 charges. I don't think anything major is gonna happen. They don't affect the bread.
From your mouth to God's ears, Flawless. Yes, I hope you're right. Now,
I hope I'm wrong and you lot get relegated.
No. This is one of the instances where you should be hoping. Oh, not you.
No, I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Right. I'm hoping you're right.
I know a lot of stuff. I hope I'm wrong. When I talk about Manchester United this coming season, I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping they throw City under the jail. Is it going to happen now?
This guy. Well, we'll speak on it. But
yeah, they are. That's what I hope so. But are they going to now? But that being said, if something major happens to you, we'll still run the show regardless.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. Yeah. I'm gonna cover it from the
man. I'm expecting from League One, man.
We will be there. Clubs, I will be there. And all of you haters that hear my voice, hear my accent, and say, "Oh, these North Americans don't know ball. They're plastic fans. Where were they?" Well, trust me, League 2, Division 2, I'm gonna be there on the come up. So you'll have nothing to say with regards to that. But I want to point out, Mighty United goal differential, 0 points separated us. Liverpool, 1 point separated us twice. Arsenal. We didn't want to keep you out the party. We didn't want to exclude you from this. 2 points. 2 points. Now, to do a 5-peat, I'm going to need all of my killers, Flawless. I'm going to need all of my soldiers, everyone that's gone to bat, everyone that showed the mentality that it takes to win it.
Because you got the mentality monsters chasing you down, man. That team that's won nothing chasing you down. For real, I hear you.
Have they called themselves the mentality monsters?
No, I'm just throwing that out there. Because that was Liverpool. They were the mentality monsters.
Yes,
but
Liverpool tried to own. Yeah, Liverpool.
I just threw that out on Arsenal, but maybe that's not the case. But the Gunners running you down, man. You got the Gunners who have won nothing running you down, so I hear it.
They haven't won anything, but they talk a crazy game.
Yeah, man,
Liverpool will win and then talk like they've been winning for years because this whole mentality monsters. Listen, you did it twice. You did it in a Champions League and you did it in the Prem. That's not mentality monsters. Mentality monsters is continuous.
Yeah,
it's consecutive. It's repetitive.
Yeah, but hey, what they did as Luigi was levels. You know what I'm saying? Because they were Super Saiyan Luigi. They was on Planet Namek, and what they did was incredible. I've never seen. They were the best number twos we've ever seen. I said this at the time. I genuinely, they are Ken to Ryu. That's what they are.
When I want to get nasty with Liverpool fans, though, when I want to get nasty with them, and I kind of hold it in the chamber a little bit, but they kind of brushed this aside. But it was big talk about how many Liverpool players were on asthma pumps.
Oh yeah, I remember
the percentages. The concentration was really, really high. Now I won't get into the whole thing on when they won, what was happening in the world at the time, and the whole thing that was actually affecting a lot of people was respiratory. If you don't know, a lot of people were having difficulty with their respiratory functions, and that happened to be when Liverpool were blazing and winning the league. I'm gonna hold it. If any Liverpool fans talk a little too crazy about the league that they won, I'm gonna be like, yo, just relax on that one. But let me not get sidetracked.
Go on, Karen.
If I'm gonna win this 5-peat, I need everybody. And Alvarez is gonna be hugely important because he was actually critical. He put in, I think, the second most minutes to Rodri because we had no Holland, which Alvarez stepped in for. And then there was a portion where we had no KDB, and in terms of dynamic, him and Foden had to work in tandem really well. So I'm not saying that I'm have a season of an injury like Holland, but I need a backup striker. And if Alvarez happens to go, my confidence in terms of a 5-peat kind of shifts a little bit.
Yeah, it dips, man. You know what I'm saying?
It dips. But we'll talk. There's lots of transfer window left. There's some additions, possibly. There's some exits. And when I speak about the exits, I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Calvin Phillips. I know it's the preseason. I'm still not liking what I'm seeing from him. He needs to fix up and show some more in this Barca game.
He's just not good enough.
I mean, what we saw of him at Leeds was nice.
Yes, because he was at Leeds is a whole different. What the role is different. At Leeds, you're Bielsa, high energy, high intensity, running around, winning the ball back. At City, you're not often winning the ball back.
But this is where I was getting. This is where I was getting at when I was also talking about Declan Rice. I was like, Calvin Phillips at least should be able to be just a destroyer. He should just be like.
You don't lose the ball like that.
Yeah.
You got dumb. You lot on the. How often are you getting How often are you losing the ball? If you lose the ball to City, you might not get it back for 10 minutes.
I know,
it's not like Liverpool where it's like, at Leeds where he's winning you'll constantly have attempts to win the ball back. You lot dominate possession against most teams. You got 65% of the ball, 70% of the possession.
That should have made his destroying responsibility a lot easier, and it wasn't there. I don't know, but he's got to go. Cancelo that still needs to get firmed up with where he's going to end up. But if we talk about what. And again, I'm scheming on a show in terms of an idea. But if I want to talk about right now what I'm optimistic about, what I'm liking in this preseason, Oscar Bob is reminding me, yeah, that's why I liked you on that pitch last season. Oscar Bob is looking poised. He's looking like a guy that's like, okay, this is what I got to work on. This is what Pep expects of me. This is what I'm working on in the offseason because he's been on that pitch flawless. He knows where he needs to be. He's playing with confidence. He's delivering with assists and goals. I'm liking it. Now, can he have a permanent role out there on that right wing? No. But can he compete for it? And what we need? Yes. And I want that competition because that competition puts that little bit of I'm feeling comfortable. I know I don't really need to maybe do everything for a full 90 because who's going to take my spot? Oscar Bob, Doku, Savio, Bernardo Silva, fighting on that right wing in particular, or maybe even Oscar Bob could be on that left, so fighting with Grealish as well. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. But if I lose anybody, we need to replace them.
Of course. That goes without saying. I hear that. And currently, Daryl just put in the chat 2-1 bar. So, yeah, Daryl, I hear that. And I don't know what my mom was talking about, Daryl, so I just blocked him. I have no idea. But run up the likes, you lot. Hit the subscribe button as well. Hit the notification bell. I know we didn't get to many of the questions, people, because it's me and Vater, man. It's like, one, I pick out the best questions. And two is that we both have a lot to say to each other as well.
Yeah, so don't sleep on the questions. The questions are good because even though they're not brought on screen, Flawless always finds a way to kind of slip them into the comments.
Yeah, because we'll probably go there anyway, and that's what it is. But if you don't want to make sure your question is read out, super chat beat, but that's one surefire way. But it's because the conversation be flowing, because this conversation is the same conversation me and Vater will have off air. Especially because we're very similar. So our thought processes are very similar. So it matches up well and it makes for interesting conversations as well. It really, really does. But like I say, I don't know. Manchester United fans, like I've said, I hope I'm wrong and you lot are right with all this newfound enthusiasm and euphoria surrounding us. Because if we don't continue to make more purchases, problem. Even Ryan said it earlier, even though he's gone. He said about Manchester United fans are gassed because they've just done business, more business than everyone else, and they're still miles off it. Not often I agree with Ryan, but he's right. Still miles off it.
Miles off it. When you say miles off it, hold on. Sorry.
In regards to like going to do it, no stress. Do your thing, man. It's all good. It's all good. No stress. It's all good, Vater. No worries. You lot run up the likes, though. Hit the subscribe button. We will be redirecting to the gaming channel as well, people, because we'll be running pro clubs. But get over to the playback as well, playback.tv/sarcasmcitytv. When I say miles off it, I'm talking about competing for.
When
I say that, bear in mind, I didn't say winning. Compete, because competing for major honors and winning major honors is different. Because that's the difference between Arsenal and Manchester City. One wins major honors, the other competes for major honors. There's a whole different level to that. And I don't want to be Arsenal. I've heard so many people say that, whether it's to me or others. Oh, you just hate and you would love Arteta at your club. No, I wouldn't. Why would I want to be a Nelly, man? I would not love Arteta at my football club. Someone who's shown me you can get to the level, but you can't go beyond. Why would I want that at the club? I want to win. What has Arteta done that is going to be memorable and special at Arsenal Football Club? Has he, like I've said before, has he improved you lot? Yes. Is he better than general consensus and most people expected? Yes. Has he won you anything or done anything we'll remember if he left today? No. No one ain't remembering second places.
Yeah, you're right.
No one ain't remembering second
there's more that he needs to do.
He needs to win. Win.
Yeah.
That's what he needs to do. That shuts me up and shuts everyone up. If you go win a Premier League or Champions League, that shuts everybody up. And he won't win a Premier League or Champions League. You know why? Because he's not good enough. That's why. And people just can't take that. I don't know if it's because it's me. Because I'm a United fan, it is what it is. Go on.
You know what's going to be crazy? If Arsenal don't win, and if they don't finish second, that's a fireable offense. I'm not as okay. He loses, he's out. But I think if he suffers this season to finish behind anyone other than Pep, I think he's sacked.
No, he should be.
No,
will they sack him? No.
Yeah,
they ain't sacking him.
You don't think they're gonna sack him if he finishes behind any of those?
No. You know why? Because they would have sacked him from he should have been gone from the season. He should have been gone from the season before. He should have made it through last season.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I think a lot of them from ownership or even from the fan base, a lot of them said, and you dismiss it, and I respect that as well. It's like, well, I don't care if you're losing to Pep, you're losing. Like you're not good enough. But I think many on their of the fan base are like,
I agree with that. I think a lot of the fan base might, the ones who haven't turned yet, I think a lot of the fan base might.
And ownership. I think ownership's the same way. They're thinking, I think ownership are looking like long term because they gave him a contract extension despite not winning the league. I think they're looking at it as like, let's hold on to this manager and win. And the only reason why he isn't winning is because of a Pep. And when a Pep leaves, it is his. Now, this is why I say them having that thinking, if he finishes behind anyone other than Pep this season, then it's like, nah, he's not that guy.
Yeah, but we already know he's not that guy because he shouldn't have made it through. From when you're on top of the league for 90% of it and you don't win the league, you should be sacked from then. He was on top of the league. 94, was it 93, 94%?
Yeah, 93%.
93%, and you didn't win the league. Arrivederci. Bon voyage. What are we discussing?
I hear it.
After spending, at that point, I think he had spent, was it 400, 500 million, whatever the case may be?
Yeah, I think this summer takes him to 700.
Yeah, and this summer, depending on what they spend, will then be even more so. So you're going north, you're closing it on a bill, and you've delivered no major trophy.
Yeah, that's rough.
They ain't gonna sack him though, and that's gonna be the great part. They ain't gonna sack him. They're gonna finish second again. Cause I believe they'll finish. I believe they're the closest challengers to you lot. They're gonna get to Champions League quarterfinals, semifinals, and go out, depending on the draw. They won't win the domestic cups because they don't take them seriously, even though they could win a domestic cup if Arteta took them seriously. So they'll win nothing. They've been trophyless. This is their longest trophy drought in a decade. Why is he still there?
Ooh.
Because the owners are happy with what he's doing. Because some of the fan base like him. He plays good football. They win more often than not. They play a good brand of football, consistently top four. Emirates is packed out. He's going to get you to the latter stages of the European competitions. That's all well and good. The balance sheet is great. He's not spending a whole heap of money in regards to, even though he spent a lot overall, like in a summer. He's not a 300, 400 million pound man.
Yeah.
It's about 150, maybe 100, 150.
Yeah.
Daryl, no trophies. And to God AEM, who says rivals remember our second place though. Yes, because we like laughing at you lot about it. That's why I remember Liverpool's second place. Because you lot lost in the best. You lot lost in the best fashion ever. That's why.
Love it.
That's why, man. You lot are the best silver. I've said this before. The best silver medalists we've ever seen, man.
Epic.
Absolute epic. And you lot did it not once but twice.
And I'm gonna be real. Listen, Liverpool content creators, I know you're wondering, like, why are my old videos still getting views, still clocking numbers? That's me. I'm a little twisted that way. I go back and watch the euphoria. I go back and watch all that giddiness, like that quad run, that we're winning the league talk. I go back and watch, and I soak that all in. I'm like, yeah, look at this. Look at this. And then looking to do that to another rival.
Unfortunately, these lot gonna win the league again in 5P. I already accepted this already, so I'm just like, all right.
Flawless. It's the better of two evils. We talked about this. One more year.
I lose either way.
Yeah, but this is the better way because Pep wins the 5. He's gonna be like, nothing more for me to do.
He needs to leave. Yeah, he needs to bounce. I hear that.
Pep wins the 5. He's out the door. Yeah. And then we'll see who City gets. Yeah, maybe we get Arteta when Arsenal fire him.
You like bringing in too, but just for content creating purposes, I'd love if that happened.
Oh, it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy.
I think Arsenal spending is it that much? Is it 750 after?
Yeah, it's up there.
Is it 750? I've heard different things. I'm gonna have to total it up myself.
That's an important stat because they won't bring it up now. They used to hold that over the head of many rivals. They're quick to tell Chelsea how much they spend, but Arsenal, they're up there. And again, the reason why it's also unique is because Arteta has been there for a long time as well. So it falls under. There's no this is what Chelsea spent. This is Arteta spent. Yeah. This is a cohesive, one-track mind, plan, vision with one manager. It's different.
And Flawless, you taking the community shield game serious? No, John, I'm not. Glorified preseason friendly. I don't take it serious. If we win it, cool. We lose it, just don't get bad. So
I mean, I'm not.
Don't get bad.
I think it's a great night out for those that are able to get to it. Like it's a great day out, I should say, in terms of the curtain raising. But there's also been a lot of talk about those who win the Community Shield don't tend to go on to win the league. And Arsenal.
How many Community Shields you won in the last 4 years?
Not many. I think 2 or maybe 1.
Is it 1? Yeah. Community Shield.
No, we. I think it's 1. To be honest with you, and Arsenal won it last year. And they didn't win the league, so that whole
basically what you're saying is We gonna win the Community Shield, and you not gonna win the league again. Hey, fast.
That might be the way to go.
Oh, you saying what? City win it and we win the league? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah.
No. See, flawless. I don't move that way. You know me. I'm not gonna move that way.
Oh, you would never say something like that.
Not currently constructed. The way.
Yeah. Hey, but hey, like we get 4 or 5 signings with 10. I can't even say that shit with a straight face. Yeah.
I would say that you guys would compete, be in the mix, pose a real challenge within the top 3, comfortably within the top 3. Depending if you get 4 or 5 signings. Yeah.
Depends on the 4 or 5 signings. But if it's 4 or 5 signings of quality, yes.
Yeah.
If it's 4 or 5, I hear that. We are dependent. I do agree with that. That we are dependent on the individual quality of said players we bring in. This is why I'm so adamant about the players we bring, like bringing in players.
Now, when you rattled off your list, like I need a left back, right back, backup center back. I need a 6 because of like when you're not Casemiro, but when you're kind of going through your list, I'm like, okay. And why I also see there's a little glimpse in your eye in terms of like if Ineos continue to add the quality, then the optimism is going to be shifted a little bit, but the manager's still there, so you're going to be reserved. I get all that, but
because I know that he could still hinder.
Yeah. Because you know he could still be a problem. But I think if your ownership continue to not go for the splashes in terms of signings, but are kind of continue to move this stealth and get that quality, after 2-3 windows, then it's like not a we could challenge for top 4. It's like at minimum top 4 domestic trophy, and then possibly it's 2-3 windows isn't a long time. No. And it's not a long time. And then it's also once you get that foot in the door, then it's hard to get you guys out of there because a happy United fan base, the worst.
Yeah, fact.
The worst.
I've been rarely. Lewis said this the whole time he's known me. I've never been happy. I've had moments. I've never been happy. I've had moments in Ten Hag's first season. That's it. He's known me like 4 years or pretty much my entire.
He knew you all the time.
That was late in the Ollie. Yeah, but by the time I had got here on the Ollie time, I was like done with Ollie.
Okay.
Yeah, but he didn't see me like interim manager Ollie file, but I wasn't content creating at that point.
Yeah,
because I remember watching the game where I turned on Ollie, and I wasn't content creating at the time.
No, I'm like, I mean, I've been a fan for a minute because when you would show up, and I think this is even before Saeed would be doing stuff. When you guys would show up and do content with rants, I'd catch you guys on Twitch.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I guess I agree. No one's really quite seen the happy flawless.
No one see me with any actual like genuine belief we can go on and made like under Ten Hag's first season. I believe we could win games and do things, but don't want to see me with belief of us going to compete or win major honors. Okay, never.
I mean, I want all bless and happiness for you in life. Let United continue to crap the bed, and do things that way. But hey, all things come to an end eventually. I want to say this, man. Honestly, sometimes
the chat, outrageous. Look at this. Big up CP. He says, let's keep it that way, flawless when it comes to football or only. I need an unhappy flawless to continue. Good. Ain't nobody want to see unhappy. This is crazy. Big up to Steve. I hope your show. I've never seen a happy flawless that makes me unhappy. See, Steve's never seen me like
Steve, stop this. No. That doesn't make you unhappy. An unhappy United.
You are into look how the energy and how much shit I talk on United are bad. Imagine if United were good. That's how much shit and how much jokes I would run. Oh Lord of mercy.
Do not.
It's gonna happen. I'm gonna be content creating.
Oh, that's gonna be
law of averages is gonna happen, even if it's 10 years from now.
That's gonna be wild.
Oh, trust.
That's gonna be wild. Do not let him get that. But I'm gonna say this. Every time I kind of get locked in the conversation. I'm not doing a good job of paying attention to like the time on my computer or even how long we've been streaming, but time always flies. I want to say those of you that haven't not subscribed to this channel, do so. And if you've not liked this, you know what? In the comments, say what you need. Say what you'd like to see change. share a comment like, yo, I need Vader to go in on these Liverpool fans a little more so I could like it from the jump. I need Vader to crash it on these Arsenal fans. Just put that in the chat and, we'll adjust it. And then you hit that like button as soon as you see me go off on these rivals. If that's what you want, put the word out there. Now I'm working.
Nah, but you do it but you hit the rivals and they just don't see it. I see it because I'm the same, but that's what it is.
Oh, I need to be a little more.
No, you just saw with it. That's just your back. Like your slap man, and the man haven't realized, you didn't just clock what man just said to you, and it's not until they think back afterwards after the. Did he really say that? But they don't realize what you say. You just disguise it really well. Like you slap man, the man don't realize that they got slapped.
That's what? I am Canadian. Drake subliminals. It's kind of like.
Yeah, but you're better at it than Drake because you want to love the rap battle like the way he did to Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You want to do that.
That's another combo. That's another combo.
We saying let your Canadians being Canadian bias you. You know he lost, man. Same way he lost to Pusha T. And he tapped out.
I got. You know what? I got to break out. We'll
do your thing. Let them know where. Let them know where they can find you, Vader, and what you got coming up.
You know where to catch me. This is really simple. And again, those of you that have done it, I'm much appreciated. You subscribe to the channel, and you've also dropped me a comment. Much
links
love.
In the title.
Links right there. Vader Games TV, and I'm also on that Twitter X app. You hit me with on that platform as well. You subscribe. If you DM, you want to say what up, I'm cool with it. I respond within the comments of my shows each and every time as best as I can. And another thing, I'm working on the concepts to give you something refreshing when the season comes. So apologies with your patience. I'm selective. I do a show with Flawless. You'll catch me on Egal. You'll catch me with Staffy on American Waffle.
Love that shout, Staffy. Big up Egal.
So I'm kind of selective with what I'm able to do in my time as well. So when my show kicks off, I'm gonna give you that balance as well. So subscribe early so you don't miss it and get that notification button. Hit that notification button. But Flawless, another great chat, man. Much appreciated.
Always love it. And this show people every Tuesday, even though we're slightly late today, but every Tuesday 11:30 p.m. UK time. That's Tuesdays all the way leading up into the season, throughout the season, people. So Premier League, Champions League, Europa League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup will be here, and there is a playlist for this show on the channel, people. So if this is your favorite show, there's a playlist. So you see it there, Manchester United, Manchester City show. Click on that, and all the shows are on there. Make sure Vader's referenced it a few times. Spotify as well, people. Spotify as well. SoundCloud, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Sarcasm City TV. And you will find this show and all the other shows on the channel apart from Watch Alongs. So make sure, again, Vader Games TV link is in the title as well. You need to make that happen. Stevie says, Vader, when can I bring you on my channel, my man? Just hit him up. Make that happen, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Just link me up. Let me know let me know what you want to do, regardless. However you want it to flow. I'm there, man. I'm there. I balance things between family and work, so I'll be there, man. Hit me up.
Love
Steve.
that. Hey, Vail, big up, man. Every single time.
Bless,
check up with you next week, man. 100%. Yeah, every single
time. I'm gonna tune in tomorrow. I think you got the Arsenal guys.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Arsenal bench. You already know. Hey, bless up, yeah. Every single time. Love Vail. My guy. Shouts to Vail every single time, people. Love doing content with Vail. Steve, we don't need to see. Big up. You've been a member of the channel for 21 months. Salute to you. Links in the pinned comment for the membership as well. But we're gonna close out. Vader just mentioned it as well. Manchester United Arsenal show, second crossover of the week. More crossovers than Marvel. Actually, Marvel have more crossovers than us, but we're getting there. Man United podcast meets the Gunner Talk from the Arsenal podcast, talking all things Manchester United, talking all things Arsenal. And obviously, they get the United Chelsea Spurs show, Man United pod, Ballers at the Bridge pod, talking at Tottenham Talk pod. And the United Liverpool show. I'm moving around on Friday. So it's been tough to get the Man United analysis at Anfield. Last Friday, I was getting ready for the wedding. This Friday, I'm out and about as well. So people, I'm definitely going to try and bring that show to you. Yeah, man, 21 months, man. That's how long we know each other, Steve. You know what I'm saying? The pleasure's been all yours, my friend. But make sure you lot subscribe to Strasbourg, Steve. Hope the show went well earlier as well, Steve. I did drop a like. But we are going to close out over to the gaming channel. Get over to the playback people because we're going live pro clubs. We're going 4 wins from elite division, so we're trying to pattern it. get it together to get to the elite division as always. But love to everyone that's locked in, man. You lot continue to support, subscribe. It is road to 13K. I need to put the 12K announcement out of hitting 12K subscribers. Also need to pattern and sort out the celebration stream as well. Nephew says running straight away. Yeah, literally running straight away. I'm literally gonna exit this and then start the stream. So love to everyone that's locked in. This has been the Manchester United, Manchester City show. Man Them United podcast meets the Man Them City podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. And see you lot over on the playback.